Are you addicted to fruity sodas?
A whole new generation of people hooked on soda.
What's really in them?
Even one soda a day is a problem.
We investigate how harmful they may be to your health. Plus, this week's The Dish on Oz, the truth behind bone broth.
I want to figure out if we're really getting conned.
How to tell the imposters from the real deal, coming up next.
Y'all ready for season 10?
I love you, Dr. Oz.
Today, what you need to know about fruity sodas. What is in your orange, your grape, and your lemon drinks? From the childhood favorites that have followed you into adulthood to the new trendy fruit sodas that have exploded onto the marketplace after people started giving up on the colas. So I'm here with 3 women who love fruit-flavored sodas, all sipping their favorite beverage. You got Avery with the orange, Jenny and the grape, and Ray enjoying the lemon. First up, how nervous are you being on the Dr. Oz show drinking soda pop?
Very.
Yeah, you should be. You thought you're being punked, someone's going on strange?
A little bit.
So, the joking is going to stop for a second because you guys are all into these sodas, and I know it's happening, and I know what's going on behind my back, so we're going to talk them through. So first off, you know there's a lot of sugar in that drink you're having, the orange drink. Right?
Yeah, maybe there might be. Yeah, probably. Tastes pretty sweet.
What else do you think's in there? What do you know about what makes that taste and look the way that it does?
I kind of figured it probably has like a little bit more fruit in it because it is a fruit soda, and I kind of think, well, it's not that dark, so it's a little closer to water, maybe.
So it looks healthier.
Yeah,
right?
it's like healthier, yeah.
And Jenny, those grape sodas, what do you like the most about them?
I love it. I love the way it tastes. And plus, isn't this an antioxidant, right? Grapes.
Right.
I love
grapes are antioxidants. And Ray, you're a self-proclaimed sweet tooth. So it scratches an itch for you. How do you fulfill the craving when you don't have that in your hands?
Well, this is the first thing I reach for as a mixer, and also when I'm hungover. So it kind of
it's a bad narrative.
Helps there, and I feel like it's better than like reaching for cake or cookies when I'm craving something sweet.
So my best friend was a soda pop addict. So I'm going to talk about his story, and I've got some other experts. But you stick around a little bit. I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to explain all the things I asked you about, why it happens, what's in them, and why you might want to be careful. And we got some options. It'll change your life because this has become incredibly popular. All right. So I asked Dr. Roizen, a former diet soda addict, and he was, and reported Tia Brown to break down just how popular these have become. Tia, start us off. You saw how comfortable they were. They actually brought it on my stage.
They love it. They love it. You know what? They're like millions of Americans. Studies show that orange, grape, and lemon soda are the popular picks for people who don't want to do colas anymore.
All right, so we've seen government here get involved in this process. And more realizing that because we're drinking a lot of soda pop, we're getting sick and the government's paid the bills. So what's going on with this anti-soda movement? Are they impacting on these?
Absolutely. Some cities are being really proactive. Cities like Berkeley have actually added a tax, 1 cent per ounce on sodas. It's a little bit of a punishment, but it's also just giving awareness.
All right. So I'm going to go back and explain why this has happened. Dr. Roizen, I'll meet you back in 1 second. So aside from the soda tax, which you can decide if it makes sense or not for you, let's show everyone why flavored sodas can cost you more than just a few cents. Take a look at some studies that say what's happening in your body when you drink sugary fruit-flavored sodas is much more than you would have bargained for. Your body uses sugar as fuel. So you put that soda pop down there, and the body takes all that good stuff down, and it tries to store whatever it doesn't use for energy later. One place where it stores this extra sugar is in your liver, where sugar gets converted to fat and can cause non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Look at that. Then the liver makes these little sugar molecules into triglycerides, fats that cause plaques that build up inside your arteries that grow ponderously large and put you at risk for a heart attack. And then the fat cells, see these things? They'll use sugar, but they'll actually build a little extra storage in there. And then extra fat, because the sugar gets converted to fat, builds up here in your body, including visceral fat. That's the kind that surrounds your organs and stretches out. That's the beer belly people talk about, right? The pooch. And that's the most concerning type. So Dr. Roizen, let's just go over one basic concept. People think, I'll just have one soda a day. I'll have one of these flavored things a day. It's a celebration for me. Is it really a big deal?
Well, in a follow-up to the Framingham study, they looked at 1,000 people over 6 years. And those who had 1 or more sodas a day had a 29% increase in their visceral fat. That's that fat you showed that crowds out the other organs.
So it's a problem. Even 1 soda a day is a problem.
Even 1 soda a day is a problem.
All right, let's get to food scientist Taylor Wallace. He's here in our fruit-flavored soda lab. He's a food scientist, by the way, so he knows how the big soda brands get the fruit flavors into these bottles and cans so they look so natural, so good. So what is in the orange, the grape, the lemon sodas that give them the flavor?
So you might think it's lemons and oranges and grapes, but actually the primary ingredient in these beverages, Dr. Oz, is high fructose corn syrup, and a lot of it. Now, they also have citric acid, which is derived from citrus fruits, but those are the 2 main flavoring components. Now, they also can contain artificial and natural flavors. But here's the trick, right? Us tricky food scientists? Natural might not always be what you think it is. For instance, glycerol ester of Roizen comes from pine wood chips.
Pine wood chips?
It's natural.
Oh my goodness. And just to be clear, what about the color? Because they do look like one big party here.
Right. So what's interesting about the artificial colors is we thought they were really bad in the 1980s. And in fact, there were certain scientists that thought they caused hyperactivity in kids. We know that's not true now. And if your kid is being a little bit hyperactive, the bottom line is you just dosed him up with a bunch of high fructose corn syrup.
Which might be the bigger issue. So I want to thank you, Taylor, for that. We reached out for a statement from the American Beverage Association. Here's what they said. America's beverage companies offer consumers more choices than ever before, including a wider range of beverages with less sugar or no sugar at all. And we only use ingredients that are safe and that meet or exceed the highest standards of regulatory agencies worldwide. We're going to talk about some of those options in a second. But can I just say something? Taylor just said that he didn't think that the sodas were a cause of hyperactivity, at least the dyes weren't. But you're still concerned about the effects of mood in kids, and there's breaking news on this.
Right. Large study from Great Britain that they gave the kids who were hyperactive and even normal kids, they gave them some of the sodium benzoate, which is a preservative, and the 6 food colorings, and they got more hyperactive. When they took it away, they got less hyperactive. That confirms studies from Columbia and from Harvard, where they've taken kids with the diagnosis of ADHD and they withdraw them from the food colorings and the sodium benzoate, and some of them get better. So not clear, but very suggestive and very powerful evidence that those food colorings may not be the best thing for you.
So listen, what are some options, Esther? Tia, people are bummed out right now. They're going to rush the stage, right? We asked them to give up their fruit-flavored sodas, which are exploding for a reason, because they're hitting the sweet spot. But you argue there's another way we can do it with less chemicals.
Absolutely. Now, we heard what's in those. Let's talk about what's in here. 70% juice, right? So it does have some sugar in it, but it's natural sugar. And if you mix it a little bit with more sparkling water, you'll get a little bit of that fizz that you like, and it's a much healthier option.
Thoughts on these?
This is good.
It's good. I'm actually surprised that it's actually sweet. I was expecting it to kind of taste artificial, but it tastes really good.
Natural sugar's pretty good, right?
Reward people. Guys are trying to make better products out there. They figure out ways of hacking the system so you don't get all the sugar. You get just a little bit of it, and you get most of what you want outside of that. But there's lots more to talk about here. When we come back, if you feel like you're addicted to fruity sodas, we have a 3-step fix to break your habit without the headaches. Stay with us. The ladies of the dish join me for an investigation into one of the most popular trends taking over your supermarket, bone broth. Be sure to watch for your next trip down the soup aisle because you will not believe what they found.
Identical triplets separated at birth for a scientific experiment. In a bizarre twist, they are reunited and begin to unravel a dark conspiracy.
How eerie this is.
The brothers are here, revealing how this web of deception changed the course of their lives.
There was definitely something missing and something wrong.
Plus, we're investigating real-life mean girls, the ongoing teen bullying that can sometimes turn deadly. All new Oz.
That's coming up tomorrow. We're back with Dr. Mike Roizen and Tia Brown investigating sugary fruit-flavored sodas to see what they're really made of. And I know you all adore them, but stay with us on this. Let's face it, giving up soda is not an easy thing, or you would have done it already. You could even suffer mood swings and headaches, and who wants all that? But they have teamed up to give you a plan that will have you kicking the habit in 3 simple steps. So let's first walk through why soda-flavored sodas are so addictive in the first place. First off, fruit-flavored sodas hydrate you. That's the main source of fluid for a lot of you. Why do so many of us reach for these sugary flavored sodas?
Because we're thirsty, we're dehydrated, or we're hungry. And the first thing we reach for is one of the sodas. Our brain tricks us into thinking we're craving them when we're really just craving water.
Second, flavored sodas make us feel good. How do they trick our brains?
They are a sugar bomb, and they actually make our bodies give off different chemicals like dopamine that make us feel good. So of course we want more and more and more, and they taste delicious.
It's like fireworks going off. Who wants them to end, right? It just
Absolutely.
feels fantastic. When they're not there, the world seems empty, so you go for more of them. But again, you don't feel good when you're drinking them. You feel relief. That's a difference. All right, so now for the plan. 3 steps to quit soda. These are 3 well-proven paths. You can all take advantage of them, and they're pretty straightforward. Step 1 is to write down the trigger. Specifically, what do you mean?
You have to keep a diary. I know this sounds like work, but it's actually for a great purpose. So some people are good with writing in books. Some people can put it in their phones, whatever works for you. But what you want to do is start to take notes about when you're drinking and finding out what are the triggers.
Easy to do. At least know your weaknesses, and then you can address them. Step 2 is cut back the soda in half. You taught me this a long time ago. You were once addicted.
I had 36 sodas a day. You and my secretary conspired on live show, 4:10 p.m., I think in the afternoon on September 4th, 2010. I was really addicted, you can tell
Sounds
that.
like a trauma intervention.
To, in fact, quit soda. This is the last soda I ever had.
You still have it.
Well, I still have it. That's the time. But I quit cold turkey. It's tough to quit cold turkey. So what we now do is say to people, let's go half. So you can say, I'm only having half the sodas, one of these and one of these and one of these and one of these. Or
alternate.
That's right. Or you can dilute and take half of the soda and have half water. So either way, you're having half. The other thing is make it a joy, make it a wonderful hydration station where you have fruit and vegetables or whatever you like to put in your, not many people put vegetables in, but whatever you like to put in your.
I like kale in mine. It's so good. It's special.
Delicious. It looks beautiful though.
and make it special place because you're celebrating your success as well.
All right, finally, we're going to start a healthy habit movement. And this is one that I think is pretty important for us all. Tia.
You know what? Make it a celebration. You know, it's going to be hard to give up soda. It's delicious. It gives you a nice little kick. But you have to figure out what you're going to do to replace that. So when you want to drink soda, what do? Go for a run. Do a little exercise. Take something that's maladaptive and make it healthy. Replace it with a healthy habit. Not only will you feel better, you'll look better, and it'll keep you motivated to staying with that change. So pick up and do something good.
Easy things, 3 of them. Thank you very much. Tia, Mike. Be sure to check out Dr. Roizen's new book, What to Eat When. Head over to DrOz.com for the full plan to kick that flavored soda habit. Be right back. Very nice job. How much veggies are really in those popular veggie chips that you all love? Can veggie pasta count as a serving of veggies? We're uncovering veggie food fake-outs. That is next. It's the big vegetable debate that's divided my own producing team. Do veggie snacks have any of these in them? Right, real vegetables. What do you guys think? Not sure. Some yeses, some no's, some I don't knows. Today, an investigation into the veggie snacks, the wraps, and the carb alternatives. We're going to start with Melody and Shannon because they're here. You know why? They've been in a food fight about these veggie products. Melody loves it so much you brought your stash.
Yes, I mean, they're super convenient, they're yummy, and I still get my daily dose of vegetables.
Yeah, it's all the good things, right? All right. Yet Shannon, your good friend, is rolling her eyes. Why is that?
Call me old-fashioned, but I think that a fruit or vegetable is anything that is grown naturally from the earth, not something in a package looking like a straw.
Yeah, they do look like straws a little bit. But we're gonna find out.
They're yummy.
They are yummy, and the packaged ingredients sometimes support it. And listen, there's some smart guys making technology solutions that might work for you. So stay tuned. I'm gonna walk you through it. What's right, what's wrong, we're gonna find out because JJ Smith's here, the nutritionist to the stars. going to help us investigate the truth about veggie chips.
Yes.
Now, you agree there's been an explosion of these products.
yes.
All these things. So you've looked into this. What kinds of products are in these actual chips, the ones that we have right here?
So they contain veggies if you want to consider bits and pieces of a vegetable, but they don't really contain a lot of the whole vegetable that I love. And the truth is, when they turn these veggies into chips during the processing process, they lose a lot of vitamins and a lot of the nutrients are gone. And if you look at the nutritional label, check this out, Dr. Oz, the first ingredients will be potato.
All right, so as ingredients, if they're basically glorified potato chips, not all of them, but some of them, right? Yeah, they have these things.
Yeah, so they have potatoes in them.
Flour.
A lot of them have vegetable powder, not the actual vegetable. I mean, literally, you said it, glorified potato chips. This one has vegetable flakes. And so you're not getting the whole vegetable. And so this isn't necessarily going to be a better alternative.
But there are alternatives to the alternatives, right? They're on the market. There's some smart guys out there who are trying to make better products for us. If we don't look around, we'll go for the head fake. If we do our homework, we'll actually look around and find products. These look like actual vegetables.
Yes, and that's the trick. Now, if you look at these, they look like veggies. You have broccoli here, you have mushrooms. They're baked, they're dehydrated. Add a little seasoning in, tastes really good. As you can see, these still looks like broccoli and mushrooms.
These taste good.
I know.
I like these. And these mushrooms, they get some kick to them. Be careful. Be careful. A little too much kick for a TV show. All right. So that's,
a lot of kick.
Those are the snacks. How about the veggie wraps? You guys have been swapping bread for these wraps in a big way. But yet you found some surprising things about veggie wraps.
Well, here's the thing. They basically have more calories than 2 slices of bread. So you have to be very careful, even though the veggie wrap is combination of like spinach married with tortilla, they're not necessarily healthy.
You guys hearing this all? It's one of the biggest problems with these things. So the last item, we talked about a veggie pasta. Now, this is not noodles, made with a spiralizer out of some vegetable. This is actually noodles that look like noodles. Yeah. Right? But they somehow have veggie things inside of it.
Yeah, these are veggie enriched pasta. And even though they're similar in calories and carbs, but they are higher in fiber because they have vegetable puree in them. So these, from a nutritional standpoint, are definitely going to be better. But you have to read the nutritional label because not all veggie pastas are treated the same.
I tell you, this actually tastes like real pasta.
Yeah, it really does. It just has a little bit more vegetables in it, which makes it a little healthier, even though it's the same calories and carbs.
All right, let's go back to Melody and Shannon here. Are they still battling? See what they think about this. So you've heard the whole presentation from JJ. So give us your lowdown here. Have we changed your mind? What do you think about these habits you've developed?
Yes. So I'm definitely going to cut back on the veggie snacks, but if I can have my daily dose of pasta, I'm fine with that.
You're good to go.
All right.
Are you happy? Shannon's happy?
I still think she should go for a more natural alternative. Just eat the real fruit, eat the real vegetable.
JJ, you give us the final verdict here. What do people look for if they want to have these veggie snacks?
Okay.
Wraps and the pastas.
Yes. Here's the thing. The front of a product is always marketing. It's always hype. It may say made from real vegetables, but it could just have a little bit of vegetable powder. So what you want to do is always look at the nutritional label, look for the vitamin content, look for the amount of fat and calories. That's going to be a better indication if something is really healthy and a great choice.
Give those back to me.
All right. Yes.
You can find the complete guide to veggie alternatives on my website. It makes it easy to understand what JJ's pushing you to do. Look in the back. Up next, easy veggie swaps that are real veggies, and they are delicious. I love getting to talk with you on my show every single day. But when the cameras stop rolling, the conversation is not over. I still have a lot that I want to talk about. So download the Dr. Oz podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. We just uncovered the truth about veggie chips and wraps and pastas, and now nutritionist JJ Smith is back to share with us veggie swaps that are really veggies. Let's start with the best new veggie swap for bread, collard green leaves. You say it ought to be everyone's bread alternative.
Oh my goodness, I grew up on collard greens, so I am so thrilled about this. Now, the collard green leaf can be a great bread swap. Now, the collard green, it will actually give you about 5 grams of protein per cup.
Are these raw? How do you make them?
Well, you basically want to put them in some hot water, blanch for about, 30 seconds, and then they'll wilt a little bit.
All right, so take a look at this video to see how to turn them into an incredible wrap. My Bike Club is standing by with their take on this bread alternative. Take it away, Tigresses.
This is a great alternative to bread. You can see it's almost gone.
Yes, it is.
It's light, it's not as heavy. And I can see me doing this. And it's great for entertaining.
Yes.
It's really great for entertaining.
With lettuce wraps, it's usually like a hot mess, but this is sturdy. I feel like I can finish the whole thing without dropping everything on
I'm
the
the
plate.
same place. There's no point having a bread alternative. It doesn't help you hold the food.
Yeah.
This thing actually got with sturdiness is the right word.
Yeah, I never really thought I would like this, but it's definitely really great. Like the curry inside is really awesome too.
The whole thing's fantastic. Oh,
Yeah,
I
whole
love it.
thing's
We'll put this on DrOz.com. All right, the next new veggie chip, something that I have fallen in love with, the jicama chips. Why do you like jicama? What's so special about it?
Well, sometimes you just need a crunchy chip to snack on. And so whenever I'm trying to snack, I'm always mindful of my calories. And so if you have a jicama chip, it's going to be about 100 calories per serving compared to if you did potato chips, which would be about 150 calories per serving. So it's going to taste great, but it's going to be a lower in calorie snack. So in case I cheat and I go a little bit over, it doesn't.
I could not never
It
imagine
happens,
you cheating.
guys, but then it won't be so detrimental on my weight loss journey.
All right.
So here we have some chili pepper, olive oil, we got a little lemon, lime, salt, pepper, and you just kind of spread it like this.
And how long do you cook these for?
All right, you're gonna cook these for about 25, 30 minutes. And then how I like to serve them is when they cook up, they look like this. Isn't that amazing? And then you add them in the mango
They're
salsa.
so thin.
They're very thin. It's gonna be so much flavor. Add them in some mango salsa.
Oh
Right?
my goodness.
You all right?
Yeah, it's got the right kind of crunch. It
But the
breaks down.
flavor.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This is a winner. Really, this is spectacular. This is the hero of the show. Jicama chips.
Jicama chips.
Don't forget it. Now,
Flavor's amazing.
I've saved something very special for you. It's the best new veggie noodle. Something called a rutabaga noodle. Not a zoodle, a rutabaga noodle. It sounds like a new car, but it's not. They're as big as cars, these rutabagas.
They are huge.
Why is this the new veggie noodle?
Okay, so what's basically happening is we're trying to eat healthy. Veggie dishes are becoming boring, but it's so easy to turn veggies into a healthy noodle dish. And the all-star vegetables are the rutabagas. And why I like them, they're kind of a mix between a cabbage and a turnip. If you go in
The cabbage got lost on its way to becoming a turnip.
Yeah, and
ended
then
up as a rutabaga.
This is what turned out. And you can find them in the grocery store. They'll be in the produce aisle where you can find any root vegetable. And they are all the rage right now, so you got to get up on those rutabagas.
What kind of pastas do you make with this?
Okay, I love this as a pasta alternative.
Look at that.
It has a very versatile flavor. It's kind of like a blank slate. So if you add it in creamy sauce, you add it in a little seafood, ooh, child, it's going to be so good. Okay? And so I like it. And here's the thing, for people who meal prep, it actually store in a refrigerator up to 7 days. So it has a lot of flavor. You can mix it with a lot of seasoning, gluten-free, low in carbs. You won't feel guilty about it. It's a great choice.
It's a little al dente. It's to the tooth. It's just the way pasta's supposed to be eaten. And I love the fact you can store it for a couple days.
Yeah, that helps
a lot of
a
veggie
lot.
pastas, they're gone in 6 hours.
No good.
All right, we got a bunch of heroes here. Check them all out. Put the recipes at DrOz.com. JJ, Mike Club, thank you very much. We'll be right back. This is good.
Identical triplets separated at birth for a scientific experiment. In a bizarre twist, they are reunited and begin to unravel a conspiracy that changed the course of all their lives. All new Oz.
That's coming up tomorrow.
If there's one thing that brings us all together, it's food. So we're calling everyone to the table to dish on everything. From the latest food hacks and trends to everyday recipes you can make for dinner tonight.
Singing is my first love, but my other passion is baking.
I'm an Iron Chef, but mostly the executive chef of Butter Restaurant and mother to an 11-year-old. This is the first recipe I ever made in a professional kitchen. They were terrible.
My cooking is like me, a mix of Caribbean heat meets Southern sweet. This is like my girlfriend in the kitchen.
I am, as a chef, first and foremost about flavor. It's simple, it's celebratory, and most of all, it's about having a great time in the kitchen. What is going wrong?
I'm trying to help.
Let's dish.
Welcome to the Dish on Oz. Oz. Daphne, what do you guys have on the menu today?
Oh, so many good things. All right, today is our bone broth investigation. What was once thought of as kind of a foodie fad has now gone mainstream, and it looks like it's here to stay. But is the boxed bone broth you find at your supermarket the real deal or a counterfeit? Then, for those of you who are curious about making bone broth at home, we have the cheap and easy hack to get the most benefits and the best flavor. And what goes better with a cup of warm broth than a sandwich? We have the ooey gooeyest of grilled cheese recipes, and it's gonna feed a crowd. We're starting with our investigation into the rise of bone broth. Take a look.
Bone broth. This ancient beverage has made its way out of the Stone Age and onto our shelves. With its popularity skyrocketing over the past 5 years, it's not just a fancy fad anymore. We're now seeing bone broth as a regular on our supermarket shelves, and more people are making it at home. So what's the hype? Fans of the golden liquid tout benefits such as better skin, lusher hair, more energy, and many use it as a meal replacement or appetite suppressant. Bone broth, not to be confused with regular soup broth, is a more bone-heavy mixture that needs to be cooked for anywhere from 8 to 48 hours to extract collagen from the bone. But with this former liquid luxury going more commercial and hitting stores, will the benefits stay the same? Can the bottled brands compete with an at-home simmer? Today, I'm investigating store-bought bone broths with the dish crew to see if they're sip-worthy.
Some delicious bone broth here. Are you guys bone broth believers? Do you do this in your everyday life?
Not every day, but I tell you, when you do get it, it just makes you feel so good. It's just warm and like a big hug. I love it.
I do. I love the flavor. Like, I like that rich. It is kind of meaty, but it's very clean tasting. I see my friends who do it regularly. Their skin's amazing. Their eyes are white. Their hair grows beautifully.
You can tell that I drink it twice a day.
Yes.
My friends who drink bone broth all the time.
All right, so you guys have been talking about benefits. Made the right way, it might have some benefits. We can come over here.
Okay.
A little investigation today on bone broth. So here's the deal. A lot of folks call it the fountain of youth. Let's talk about what it possibly could do for you and how you actually make it. Because I want to figure out if we're really getting conned. Because I hear so much about it. It's probably the biggest fad these days. It might dominate the whole year. I'm seeing bone broth and everything. So basically, let's look at this. You get some meat, all kinds of meat, meaty bones. You got to add some aromatics to it. I got some garlic here, but you can use some of the different spices and leaves and the basils and all. Then a little bit of acid. Chefs always add acid. We can't really scientifically prove that it makes a difference, but it does seem to make a difference because when you do that the right way, guess what you get? In theory, Jamaica, you might get digestion benefits, you might sleep better, you might get some immunity, some joint health, and then I know you're all interested in looking younger.
Yes, tell us about that.
Ultimately, right, that's the thing. I'll give you all a little test to figure out if your skin elasticity is where you want it to be. So everyone in the audience, all you guys up here, do this together, okay?
What do wrinkles
Put your sleeves
mean?
back. Okay. Wrinkles, right. I want you to take a little pinch of the back of one of your hands, either hand, hold it for about 5 seconds. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Everyone at home do this too, 4, 5. And then as you release it, watch how long it takes for the skin to bounce back.
I couldn't pinch anything. My skin is so tight.
Yes, it's so tough.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Latex
skin it's just
right
bone.
There. I'm a hand model, so
it's just bone.
You know, I'm good. Look at that. Black don't crack.
They don't crack at all. It's right back. Well, if you have that, you don't have collagen problems. So it's very difficult for the bone broth to help you. But in order to make the benefits real, you got to drink the real deal. Which means, Daphne, you got to walk us through what you've learned researching bone broth, the goods, the bads, and the uglies.
Because there is a lot of bone broth on the market.
So here's the deal. There are a ton of bone broths on the supermarket shelves, and a lot of them, the commercial ones, will have these in their ingredients. They'll have beef stock, beef flavor, organic cane sugar. They'll have some organic veggies. They'll have beef fat, yeast extract, more flavor, tomato paste, onion powder, and garlic powder.
Starting to sound like pizza.
Yes.
It could be any
Tomato
kind.
paste, cheese.
You know, on the surface, none of these necessarily seem that alarming, but there are some clues here that tell me that brands that use these products are cutting some corners. These things are meant as filler to save the producers time and save them money, and definitely not to deliver to you the best quality goods.
So when you walk in down an aisle and you've got tons of new brands of bone broth out there, and in bone broth and everything, give me 3 tips, 3 takeaways to find out if it's really legit or not.
Right, so here's how you're gonna pick a great one. Here's how you're gonna make sure you're getting the most. So the most important ingredient you wanna see front and center is bones. Like, it takes a lot of bones to make bone broth. It's a time and labor intensive process. You want water, you want vegetables and spices, and then like you mentioned, acid is optional, things like your vinegar or lemon juice or tomato paste. And those are pretty much the only critical things you have to see to make sure that it is really good. Here's the second thing. You want a label on the container that states that it was cooked for at least 8 hours. And then this is the most critical and easiest to see test. It needs to pass the gel test.
The gel test.
The gel test.
This sounds official.
Sounds serious.
This is like Shrek. I love it.
The gel test?
First we had elasticity, now we're at gel.
So if you aren't sure you got a good product, here's how you're gonna test it. Put it in the fridge overnight, okay? If it gels, meaning it like sets up and it's kind of wiggly and jelly like that, it's a great thing. That's the collagen in there. If it doesn't gel, it may be watered down. Alex is gonna run to the fridge. We put ours in overnight. We're gonna do the gel test.
Let's
look at that.
Talk about elasticity.
Jiggly.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
The chef Talk Skin brought over some gelatin for us. Look at this.
That's what you want to see.
This looks like really good face cream. I mean, let's skip eating it and just do a mask.
I'm putting a little prediction out there right now. I guarantee there will be bone broth inspired face care coming soon.
Do you see that?
Investigative.
Paleo face mask. Keto face mask.
Keto face mask. It's happening.
This is a lot of stuff, and I was curious how you make the good stuff. So we sent out our intrepid investigator,
Yes.
Alex. She went to New York City's preferred bone broth shops called Brodo. She risked everything.
Everything on the line. I'm here to find out what makes one bone broth better than another, and I'm consulting bone broth wizard Marco Canora at his broth shop Brodo here in New York. Hello.
Hey, Alex.
How are you?
I'm great.
So I'm here because you're the broth guru.
Oh, wow.
How do we know, with all this broth on the market now, it's so chic, what's the good stuff?
Well, how about you come inside and I'll show you?
I love it. Let's do it.
All right.
We're obviously always talking about bones and meat. That's part of what broth is. What do we have
Correct. So we have a bunch of versions of beef.
here? Lots of nooks and crannies.
Yeah, nooks and crannies, exactly. That's where the collagen comes from. So you always want some collagen,
Why?
some cartilage.
Why do I want collagen?
Because it's very functional food. It's very good for your gut. It's very good for your joints. It's very good for your skin.
So it keeps us young and fresh.
Yes. Turkey drumsticks. And then we come to the world of chicken. And again, you want connective tissue. So the feet are really great. Some people get grossed out, but they're really good for broth.
So if I roast a chicken at home, can I use the carcass in my broth?
100%.
I love that.
Yeah. So it's very simple. You just dump it into the pot. So now it's simple. You cover these bones by about 4 inches with cold water.
How long are we cooking this?
18 hours.
Oh, 18 hours. Perfect.
All that connective tissue, in order for it to break down and release that collagen into the broth, it takes time.
All right, so we have all the meat cooking away with the broth, but what else? Does anything else go in there?
So classic mirepoix.
Okay.
50% onion, 25% carrot and celery, peppercorns and bay leaf, and some canned tomatoes.
Tomatoes have a lot of pectin, so they give body.
Yeah,
And then that
flavor.
gives us a great body.
Right, and I want you to try some.
I love it.
Will you try it?
All right, so this is the Hearth Signature bone
It's the
broth.
signature hearth broth.
This is like a meal.
Literally, Alex with the tautest skin around. Daphne's done. You can have
She's
some
done.
of
I
mine.
love this stuff.
Okay.
I'm looking younger already. I mean, come on.
Coming up, if you've ever wanted to make your own bone broth, were worried it was too much of a pain, the Dish Crew has a no-fail bone broth hack you have never heard of before. You put them together, you'll have this in no time. Stick around. The ladies of the dish are cooking up something hot and tasty.
That's right. We're giving you the tips and tricks to make your very own pot of healthy and delicious bone broth at home. For me, it's always a party in the kitchen. What is going on?
I'm trying to help.
For us, as the Oz family, food might be the most important thing. From the time I was a small kid, I remember cooking with my mom and my grandma. I was learning what it meant to be one of us. The kitchen is still the center of my world.
Cooking and a bakery.
Now I have my own family, 3 little kids who have so much fun with me in the kitchen. I am, as a chef, first and foremost about flavor. a bunch of herbs to a salad, a beautiful pesto into a tomato sauce. Don't tell anybody. It's simple, it's healthy-ish, it's celebratory, and most of all, it's about having a great time in the kitchen.
We are back with the Dish on Oz. I know a lot of you want to make your own bone broth, but worries too much of a pain. It's just too hard. It takes so much time. Have no fear, because the Dish crew is giving you foolproof bone broth hacks, pointing out the common mistakes to avoid. The first common mistake when you're making bone broth is you don't blanch the bones, which means, Daphne?
So this was a mistake I actually was making, and I would end up with this kind of like muddy broth that wasn't as clear as it was when I bought it. It's because you aren't blanching your bones, which means literally kind of boiling them for 20 minutes to pull all of the impurities out of the bone before you start to cook it into your broth.
All right, Jamaica. Next common mistake that we're all making, and a lot of you are making, is you don't roast the bones. So blanching is one problem because it turns brown. Not roasting creates a whole separate kind of issues.
Yeah, so after you blanch them, you have to roast them because this is a crucial part. And you want to roast them for about 40 to 50 minutes, almost to the point where they look too roasted. You know what I mean? And if you will take these to the oven for me, I like putting Dr. Oz to work.
I will swap it out.
Yes, you'll grab a swap for me so you guys can get an idea of what I'm talking about, why you need these roasted bones.
There we are. Oh my goodness,
This
this
is
turned
really
to a whole
about
different color.
Really about flavor.
No,
too.
that's what
look at
you'll
that.
see with
Oh
these
my-
bones.
These are
There you go.
roasted.
Look at the juiciness here.
There you go.
I want to get right in on that bone marrow. That
And let me
looks
show
so
you guys,
good.
because of course with the broth, it's all about flavor. And where there is brown, that's where the flavor is, in those pockets hiding in there. So yes, and I'm gonna load these into our slow cooker, like so. And make sure you get everything in there. You don't want to miss a beat of flavor in here. And then we'll just pour a little bit of water on top.
Same thing, just barely submerge it.
There you go.
So what do you do when you boil the water off? Because if you're going to leave it for 12 hours or longer, it's not going to stick around.
Well, if you run out of water, fill it up again, pour yourself a glass of wine and wait.
Finish the wine.
Just wait.
Next common mistake we're all making with bone broth is that we want to add all those ingredients and all those things that we've been talking about in the earlier segment. We don't have to make it that complicated.
No, you can add 100 things to the broth, or you can just really keep it simple. Some nice staples you probably have on hand. A few cloves of garlic, some sliced onion, and just some peppercorns, stuff you have on hand. But this stuff goes in later. You want to cook the broth for a couple of hours, just like this. And then add those aromatics in later, and look at that. And you can even eat those, the delicious, you know, cooked onions, right?
It smells so good.
It's like a meal. It's really like a meal.
Okay,
So
I'm hungry.
you dole it out. Everyone come over here. We're going to try some of these beauties.
You know I drank
really
that first
pretty.
cup.
And we have chicken versions you can make too.
Right? And you can mix the bones. If you have a chicken
Pork and
carcass
chicken.
and some pork bones, put them together.
This smells so
It's intoxicating
good.
right
It is. You imagine having pot of this on when you come home from, that is kind of the nice thing about a slow cooker is you kind of set it and forget it. You guys were asking about the water evaporating. The whole point is that it's really cooking it so low and slow, you shouldn't have major, evaporation.
And you add
of the-
fixins. You're a big add-on woman.
So that I do
Yes.
I like to personalize. I like to
so
take care of
extra
people.
with things.
Yeah, so extra.
I like the chilies.
So here's some of the things I like to put out. A bunch of fresh herbs always. I like basil, I like mint, I like some tarragon sometimes. If you have a chicken, especially if you have a chicken tarragon salad, like you're used to something like that, try the same flavor pairings in a broth. We've got fresh turmeric, great I know you're so happy with that, Dad. And preserved horseradish. You got that in the back of your fridge from one cocktail sauce 12 years ago.
The other good thing about bone broth, because it is filling, but people, if you want to lose a little weight, people who drink soups generally lose weight faster than people who eat solids. Your intestines use the material.
Give me the whole, give me the whole thing. Give it to me.
Fight me for this. No, actually, that's so true too. And everyone's always on like their juice cleanse or whatever. Savory broth makes me feel more full. Like chewing through this, enjoying this feels very savory and takes good care of
A bone broth cleanse.
Yeah, I would
There we
only
go.
have one piece of cake for dessert.
I'm going to add a little pepper in my bone broth. Be sure to head over to droz.com/the dish for this no-fail bone broth recipe. We'll be right back.
This is so delightful.
Identical triplets separated at birth for a scientific experiment. In a bizarre twist, they are reunited and begin to unravel a conspiracy that changed the course of all their lives. All New Oz. That's coming up tomorrow.
We are back with the Dish on Oz, and we have a super clever way to serve up grilled cheese sandwiches to a crowd that will have everyone lining up for seconds. Take a look at this video of a recipe.
What a mashup. Grilled cheese, French onion. Oh, is anyone else mesmerized by that? I'm like, what is happening here? Teach me more.
They started drooling, literally. Their eyes dilated, the pupils got big. It was unbelievable.
Well, we all have to taste it. Show me what's under that pan.
Well, the big reveal is also you get this. Oh my God. And then you have this moment where everybody digs in and you, oh, come on.
Look at that.
Everyone gotta look.
Corner and
Oh, yeah.
Ready?
Oh, I mean, you give me all of this amazing healthy bone broth and then you clog me up with this cheese. What am I gonna do here
This
today?
is Alex's fault.
Eat them together. Then you
This
get
dish
stuff.
is meant to feed a crowd, but Alex, I understand anyone in this story. You have a mother who's so influential that she invited a crowd and they got rid of them, so there was no one to eat the grilled cheese.
Yeah, my mom knows how to clear a room. And this was Thanksgiving in particular, and holiday meals. And I'm literally, my mom's watching, so I'm gonna never be invited to my mom's house again.
Sorry, Mom.
But my mom likes to cook in her bra and underwear.
I get it. I get it. You come home from work, you take the dress off.
Yeah,
Bra and
so
underwear.
for Thanksgiving meal, my mom was cooking the turkey in the kitchen in her bra and underwear, kind of out, her ensemble, and she had her party dress hanging up, you know, ready to slip it on when the guests
I like
come,
everything
right?
so far. I'm with her.
Okay, so she's basting the turkey and she's cooking the side dishes and everything in her, you know, little whatever. And the door opened, she left it open a little because it was hot in the kitchen and some guests came early.
Uh-oh.
Wait, I'm sorry. The party foul here is that they came early. You never come early to Thanksgiving
Well, they got a
dinner.
surprise that day. Oh, yes.
So they were so excited, like, hell! And they just turned around and left. That was it. But my mom, you know, she had a really good attitude about it. She served up the meal, and we had Thanksgiving anyway, alone.
All right. Can we have your mom on the show next week?
She's never speaking to me again.
Come help me. We got half the audience there. We got lots more to go. This is wonderful. You can find the French onion grilled cheese recipe on droz.com/dish. Remember, together change is happening. Our journey is just beginning. Let's go feed the audience.
All right.
Let's go feed everybody.